0803-882-5170. The Avalanche, bridging the gap between the young people and the society. Don't miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
The Avalanche.
Systems are offline.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet.
The Avalanche.
Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Hello, good morning, Nigerians. It's good to know that you're there. And of course, it's about time again we take a look at some of the issues that concern mental health. And we also take a look at some socio-cultural and other things that concern us as a people. What's the state of your mind? How's your mental health like? We've seen cases of people who have been struggling with their health lately. And of course, we'll look at that in a moment. I will take a look at what suicide really is. I mean, suicide has been one of the leading causes of death in recent times. And we have to look at it critically, see what's causing it, see how we can deal with it decisively and find a possible solution to it. Because apparently, there are increasing cases of suicide in our society, given that it is widely reported these days. In past years, suicide cases used to be more prevalent among youths, including students. The chief reasons were inability to pass school exams and JAMB examination, as well as being jilted in a relationship. All the most common methods of committing suicide is taking of, we talk about insecticide, rat poison, cold sniper, and all the ones like that. Just a little dose of it is enough to send one bear on. But I just want us to talk about it. This led to NAFDAC, the National Agency for Food, Drugs Administration and Control, banning the sale of small-sized packets of this insecticide medicine at retail outlets. And it was also thought that this would curb access to it and so reduce incidents of suicide. Of course, people taking their own lives by jumping into the famous lagoon in Lagos. And of course, this at this time, led to the police patrolling the area. And some who attempted to end their life inside the lagoon were rescued by the authorities or prevented from doing so by vigilant motorists. I saw one back then in Lagos, one of the Koyi bridges, when the young man wanted to jump off the bridge, and it was a motorist, an Okada rider, who came down and quickly pulled the young man back. It has gotten to that in Nigeria. Inflation rate has really been the case. We've seen a lot of things. People could not do business any longer like they used to, and that has actually spiked up the issue of suicide in Nigeria. So my name is Samson Omotosho. You're listening to I-FLIER 103.3 FM Ibadan. So let's get started already. Let's do it this time around. I'll be right back after this music break. Please don't go away. That's here giving you that song. You're unstoppable. If your mind is intact, then everything about you will really come back alive. And that is why we talk about mental health. It's the total well-being of a human being. If your mind is not together, if your mental health is not stable, then life is not stable, I must tell you. And that's why you see that someone will think of jumping into the lagoon, someone will think of drinking or even sipping what we call insecticide just to end it all when they feel all hope is lost. This morning, if you're just tuning in, the program is The Avalanche, and we're discussing about suicide. Rising cases of suicide in Nigeria, and of course a possible solution. Rising cases of suicide. It has been an increasing one. We've seen that over time. But I have someone rightly seated in the studio. In a moment, I'm going to bring him up so we can talk extensively about what's really the cause of the country. Yeah, some of us may know little, but then he's going to expatiate on that because a female trader whose suicide attempt via the lagoon failed reportedly said she wanted to end her life because of mounting debts which she could not repay. And consequently, upon these cases of rescued persons attempting suicide, the police dusted up the law that makes suicide a crime and sought to prosecute those saved from committing the crime. This apparently reduced the suicide attempts, via the lagoon, as reported cases almost vanished. Okay, so I have joining me in the studio this very morning. Well, he's the executive director, Kick Out Suicide Initiative. I'm talking about, he's a pastor. Okay, so I must call him that. So, Pastor Victor Nwabogu, thank you for coming. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Okay, yeah, you've been listening to the introduction, my introduction lately, and we've been talking about some issues as regards attempted suicide. Some people have done it successfully, and they are no more with us. And let me start with the fact that what do you think are the causes of this rise in suicide cases?
Well, I must say that most of the things we may be talking here this morning are not new. We've had the opportunity to engage in conversations over and over again, both in a studio like this and public discourse outside this studio where we have brought people of like mind, special people interested in the same case to discuss and to talk about it. So it's been there in the public space. But I would rather prefer to talk about those things that we do not pay attention to. Generally, of course, we know that we have mental disorder as a major cause when we start talking about, depression and stuff like that. But over the years, I've been an advocate of, trying to look outside the regulars. We have some biological factors. Some are inherited. You trace the family background, the parents suffered this depression, and we see that going down the family tree. I would rather like to talk about our environmental factors. Because most of the cases, even the examples you just posted, and from our interactions with those that have come to us, the causes revolves around the environmental and economic factor. And what are all those? You talked about inflation. You talked about people saying they are not able to take care of their debt. Unfortunately, that has become an abnormal situation, and we have found ourselves in an abnormal country as it is today, hoping that things will get better. We have the issue of just get it today, just be up there today, especially among our young ones. And if he or she is not up to the game, he or she feels she's not good enough, he's not good enough, he's not met his friend, her friend, they are making it, using their term, she's not blowing, he's not blowing, that other guy, that other boy is making it, and they just feel they are not good enough, their effort is not good enough, and you see them slipping into depression. They are discouraged. Is a major factor, and we have seen this over and over again. We cannot overemphasize this. We cannot overemphasize this. How are we bringing up our children? What is that we are giving them to grow upon? Intelligence, emotional stability, the generation we are, emotional intelligence. They lack emotional stability to absorb just a little shock, a normal shock that we all went through, and we saw it as a normal thing.